I've been wanting to do one of those videos where you sit down and you talk to your younger self over a cup of coffee, and what would you say? I've done a couple of different ones. There was one where it was kind of snarky and she realizes that my coffee is black, where back at 16, I didn't drink coffee at all. And, she's like, damn. And I'm like, yep. And then there was another one where I was like, no, it's not even coffee. This is wine. Or another one where I've said, yep. And I even spiked it before I got here, kind of thing. And that's funny. And then I also thought about doing one where I came back in 10-year segments and started off at 26 and then 36 and then 46 and then estimating what I would be like at 56. But that was making me sad because I don't want to scare her. We've had a lot of lousy things go on in our life. We had, my mother got sick with an aneurysm and my family lost everything. 2 real estate offices, they lost it all. And I had a daughter who was born with a birth defect. And my husband lost his job many times. And we struggled with infertility between my daughter and my 3rd child. And my 4th child was supposed to be a twin. And we've gone through some very difficult financial times. The amount of money I've spent in medical bills before pre-existing condition was wiped away. My daughter was born with a pre-existing condition and it was a nightmare. I could tell her all of the awful things that happen along the way. But here's the thing. I'm a really optimistic person. And I kind of look back on it all and say, damn, I've survived all of that. I made it through. I am a smarter and kinder and more patient person because of it. Yesterday, my husband asked me if I was jealous of my kids because they all have these amazing adventures that they are on. My oldest child is able to explore being her own authentic self, which wouldn't have been possible in the 80s or not safely possible. And my daughter is about to finish dental school. She is attending her 2nd Ivy League school. I don't have any ability to put her through that. She made it through all of that all on her own. And then my 3rd child put himself back into college all on his own and is, doing his best. He's got a 4.0 average. Unbelievable. Like, I didn't even know he did it until he asked me for how to get his medical records to send to the school. And my youngest, he's an influencer. He's living the life. Yesterday, he FaceTimed me from a yacht because they're filming on a yacht. And I look at that and my husband asked, he's like, well, are you jealous of your kids at all? And I'm like, no, you know what? I'm not, because I know that they are happier in their stages of life than I was at their age. And he got all offended right away because he's, when my daughter and my oldest child were, with me, I was with him and at that age. So when, I was with him when I was, 27 and 29. And I told him, I said, well, but we were struggling with a birth defect and we were struggling with job loss and we were struggling with you losing your career due to an injury. And we were struggling at their age. So yeah, I'm thrilled to death that they're doing better than we are. I'm happy for them. And I think that's the point of this message, is that attitude is going to change everything. If you look at all of the awful things that happen in your life and you dwell on that and you say, wow, I've had an awful life, you're never going to see that you came through it. You're never going to appreciate the positives that you've run into along the way. You're not going to be grateful that your children are not suffering from the same things. You're never going to feel like you've grown past that immature 16-year-old self. So I think that if I was to sit down with my 16-year-old self, what would I say? I'd say buckle up. It's going to be an interesting ride. But focus forward and stay positive. And, something that I learned when I was climbing the mountain the other day in Arizona was a change in your altitude. If you change your attitude, you can handle the altitude. And what altitude do you want to live in? I don't want to live in the lower vibrations. I want to live in the higher vibrations. And in order to be there and be happy and be peaceful and to understand what it is that I'm going through, you need to change your attitude. So I think I would tell my 18-year-old self or 16-year-old self, go into it with a good attitude. You're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Look at me, I'm still here. And I'm happy. And if that's all you aim for, then that's all you're ever going to need.